BBC Radio Shropshire, so looking ahead to a few things going on in the county, getting you on the guest list. This is for something next Sunday, so a bit of forward planning for you. You may have seen the films starring Michael Redgrave or Albert Finney and Michael Gambon. You may have seen another version of the play, the Browning version. It's a play that's been adapted many times. It's coming to Ludlow Castle next Sunday. Jules Woodman from Appletree Theatre, absolutely thrilled at the coup of performing at Ludlow Castle.
Yes, we're absolutely thrilled to bits. We're the first independent theatre company to be working there for over a decade, so yes, it is a bit of a coup. We're very pleased indeed.
To tell me a little bit about the theatre company itself. Appletree Theatre is what it is, isn't it?
Appletree Theatre Company, we started around 2.5 years ago now, I think, so it's still a relatively new theatre company. And of course, at the time, everyone said, well, you're starting a theatre company at exactly the wrong time, just as the recession's hitting. But fortunately, we've managed to sort of keep a foot in the theatre and education sector, which I have lots of experience in. And that's managed to sort of keep us going and allow us to do the more artistic and grown-up stuff as well, which has been great. We're a community interest company, and we do lots of community theatre and especially youth theatre too.
So this latest production, it's the Browning version. Tell us a little bit about the play, if anyone's not aware of it.
Sure, yeah. It's a one-act play that was written by Terence Rattigan, who was writing throughout the late 30s and 40s. He was a public school boy himself, and the play is about a public school. He wrote very sort of, well, as ever was the case, he wrote very ordinary plays about the lives of ordinary people. But of course, his ordinary people tended to be quite middle-class, upper-class people. And he really fell out of favour in the 50s and 60s with the sort of gritty kitchen sink dramas coming in from Joan Littlewood and the like. But then from the mid-70s onwards, he's seen a massive revival. And I think it's because his characters are so ordinary. We can all actually relate to the characters. We know these people.
So who are the key characters then that we're looking out for in the Browning version?
Well, it's actually quite an even-handed play, in as much as that every character that's involved has a massive effect on the plot. But I suppose there are 4 actually main characters. The first one is Mr. Crocker Harris, who is actually the key sort of chap in the play, who is affected by what happens during the run. His wife, Mrs. Crocker Harris, Millie, who is a real harridan, a very nasty character, and has very few redeeming features actually. So
is she kind of the villain of the piece?
She is, yes. I play her, and she's great to play, I have to say.
That's the thing, isn't it? Actors always like to play people who are a little bit evil, don't they?
Yes, she's a terrible woman. She really is. and then there's Taplow, who's the young boy, one of the boys at the school, who brings Crocker Harris a gift. And this gift actually changes his opinion of his career, his life, and the way he's going to go on and go forward, and actually gives him some gumption back. I think that's one of the words that's used in the play quite a lot, which is a lovely 1940s word, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got my gumption back now. I lost it somewhere, but I seem to have found it now. Fantastic.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so, and the fourth character that has a big effect on the play is a character called Frank Hunter, who is actually one of the other masters at the school, but is having a fairly open affair with Millie Crocker Harris.
Shocking.
And Mr. Crocker Harris knows all about this, and the only innocent in the whole play is actually Frank Hunter.
Right.
So yes, so it's a really interesting play. It's actually quite it's a story of betrayal, but ultimately there is hope there as well. So yeah, it sort of gets the audience laughing, and it also at times makes you squeeze with embarrassment, and that's a bit.
But we all like watching things like that, though, don't we? I think.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially when it's not happening to you. That's always the best way around it. Yeah.
Yes.
So it should be a good evening. Whereabouts in the grounds are you going to be?
We'll be performing in a marquee that will be attached to the Beacon Room. Those of you that know Ludlow Castle will know that there's a fabulous wedding venue there, the Beacon Room. And, the marquee will sort of be attached to it, so we'll be inside and out, but not completely outside, of course, not in October.
And you're performing at a couple of other places in the county as well, aren't you?
Yeah, we've actually got a 7-date tour. It's pretty regional, but the other dates that are in Shropshire are, we're at Theatre on the Steps the week after on Saturday the 8th of October, and then we're actually going to Church Stretton School Theatre on Saturday the 22nd of October, and we finish off the tour at the Courtyard in Hereford on the 28th.
Well, I hope it all goes well. Thank you for telling us a little bit about it.
Thank you very much indeed.
And I'm glad you were playing nice you this morning, Jules, rather than the evil person that you play in the play.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't catch me tomorrow, because we're rehearsing tomorrow and I would have been in character.
Exactly, that would be scary. Nice talking to you. Thanks, Jules.
Thank you very much. Bye.
So I can add to my list of rediscovered...